Striker is a mid-range leaning control deck that has been one of the most prevalent archetypes in the history of the TCG, and the cards from the new box, along with the skill and the bundle, allow for the deck to perform quite well in Duel Links. There are more videos on the way soon, so consider pressing the big red button, but with no further ado, enjoy! The 2 engage and remaining link monsters come from the skill. So once you are in a game, the deck will look more like this. We have our 4 copies of Ray, which even with engage isn't a whole lot, which is why I'm using 3 Area 0. This card can find us Ray or engage, or you can use Afterburners, Jamming Waves, or multi-roll to destroy it and summon Ray from the deck. I'm not against playing 2 multi-roll, but I dropped it to 1 in order to fit Drag Down and 2 Dark Hole Dealings. Normally I think these cards kind of suck, but I think they are pretty decent in this deck because they help us fill the grave with spells while also digging for Ray and engage. Dealings can be a bit risky because we're letting them fix their hand and discard monsters that they want in the graveyard. However, we can somewhat compensate for the latter by playing double Shark Cannon to banish the monsters that they discard. Shark is also naturally good against all the zombie decks which are quite popular currently. If you don't want to play these draw spells though, then you don't have to, but I would recommend playing 2 copies of multi-roll if you don't. If Striker becomes popular, then it is most definitely best to not play Dealings, especially because we do not want to help our opponent find engage. You can also pop your own Area 0 with MST, but I don't think MST is good in this deck when we already have Afterburners and Jamming Waves. Another thing that I use for beating graveyard decks is 2 IDP. This card is not a spell card, but it still works well with the slow early game that Striker sometimes has. Veiler is another good tech card that you can play in this deck, and perhaps if you're not playing the draw spells, you could play both Veiler and IDP. I prefer IDP over Veiler because IDP helps you more when you don't have access to Ray. The reason for this is that if you play IDP when you have no other defense, you are much less likely to get OTK'd, whereas if you play Veiler, their monster is still on the field and can attack you. You can also use Mind Control, but I think Striker already has enough tools going second. In addition, the deck already has engine removal that acts in a similar way to Mind Control, which is Afterburners and Jamming Waves. We don't want to play too many of these cards because they are not that great going first. You can also flip the ratio on Waves and Burners if you want, but personally I think that Burners is a little bit less situational. If you have the card, then Droplet is definitely very good in this deck, but if you don't, then do not worry. This deck does not need Droplet, but when the card does get reprinted, I would definitely recommend trying it. I'm not using Eagle Booster or Hercules Base in this deck. Normally when I'm searching Eagle Booster, it's usually better to be searching Widow Anchor or Shark Cannon. This isn't always the case though, and if it comes to a point where we have an OTK deck that plays MSTs and Cosmics, then I would be a lot more inclined to play this card. This card is pretty bad to draw. As long as you don't waste your Kagari, you don't need Hercules. Free Shizuku is important for longer games, especially because we're not playing Hercules. But if you only have 2 of this card, then I would recommend playing Hercules. Heater isn't too hard to get from the selection box, but if you don't have it, then a good replacement would be either Borrowload or Clifford Genius, because Genius can be made with 2 Striker Link monsters. Phoenix is our other Link 2, followed by our Link 3s with Unicorn and Ningirsu. Ningirsu can send Area 0 to summon Ray from deck, and then climb into Rastaliger. And this card is our budget access code. Enjoy the gameplay. Yeah, we have pretty much every Ogdoa deck apart from the 2 new ones, which is the new spell and the new monster. But all the old ones are all in Duel Links now, which is pretty cool. Okay, set. Normal summon. Show me your hand. S-Force. Ooh, okay, yeah, no. Be gone, please. Okay, yeah, this is just end phase shiz into Anchor, isn't it? Or we could just go... We know they're playing S-Force, right? We don't actually need to end on more than one interruption. Shizuku... and then we can search for engage in the end phase. There's the Chimaru. Chimaru effects. Going to chain anchor to negate. No, thank you. We do have 3 engraved for engage next turn. Big value. IDP. Okay. Cool. Engage. Chain Specimen to bring back Gravitino. I mean, yeah, that makes my afterburners pretty good. They could go Chase and IDP on Resvo, couldn't they? Yeah, I think maybe in case we do that, it could be worth going for Area Zero here. Yeah, that would either play if they go for Chase into IDP. Speaking of IDP. Now we can search for any S4 cards. I grab a field spell. Okay. I'm going to use the spell here to pop the dealings. Chain Chase. Okay. Interesting. What about Mind Control? So you can play Mind Control in this deck. I choose not to because the deck already has enough tools going first. Grab Ray. Ray Engrave. We're gonna IDP this. If they do, that's fine. They did not IDP that, okay. Multi-roll. And then we have Engage. Well, actually, I think it might be best to go for Jamming Waves here, because that can clear the Chimaru as well, which is pretty big. Pop, pop, send... Because if you IDP early, I just set my IDP and pop it, which is pretty bad, actually. Yeah, no, I don't like that, never mind. It was a thought. Draw Rotor. If I'm building... What are you building? You might put a dot in there. I think the chat censors things with dots for some reason. Oh, TG. You can box 3 times? No. I believe you only need a new box once for TG, I think. Because you only play one of the new spells to search with a skill. Case Cup worthy? I think this deck's Case Cup worthy. I can see it. Yeah, do just Rotor Dewey. Just setting a Battle Fizz. There was like also maybe an argument there to like climb into Ningirsu. Which could have been good. I like both Void and Dealings, but Dealings can be less awkward to use for yourself sometimes. Because like with Void you have to do the thing where you keep Ray in end phase and then pitch your hand and then Ray tag into Shizuku, which you can't always do. Ooh, that warrior. Yeah, negate this. Why do we play Fire Link Charmer? I play it for the mirror match to take their Kagari, and also for Shonami to take their fire stuff to then climb into a Link 4. It comes up against Tenyi as well, because you can take their Shaman. Okay. End phase. Effects sets engage. Use engage. Do I have an anchor left? I should do. Yeah, cool. Draw. Multi-roll onto IDP, but don't use IDP. We can go set. Then we can go waves onto the rotor. They can't change Himaru. There we go, cool. Yeah, so I pop Himaru, then Anchor take the Laplace and then this game with Ray.
Duel.
What would I see? Selena. Lunalight could be a pretty hard one because we can't out the fusion monsters that easily. Normal summon Chick. Chick effects. Chick will send the Martin to graveyard, most likely. Oh no, Fox, okay. And Martin in hand, okay, we would have Martin. Martin, bring back Chick, summon Martin. Then we get to use Alleviation. Chuck. Okay, they drew two Martin, right? Chuck Martin from hands. Send Saber from extra deck, and then pass. Ooh, that's a good card. We're gonna use dealings. We can negate Anchor with Fox, we can just banish Fox with Shark Cannon. Yeah. Okay, cool. Banish Fox from grave. Engage. Grab multi-roll to hands and then draw a card for engage. Sure, IDP, that's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good one. Take. It is dealings better than Void. Void can be very good, but in order to use Void efficiently, you have to tag with Ray in the end phase after you pitch your hand with Void, which isn't always very easy to do is the issue. IDP is all you need. Don't even need IDP, we just win this turn. Attack into Kagari. Can we afford to add back? We can, we're at 2k, yeah. So in case we have something to survive here, we can still have protection. Like, even if there was a hand trap there, we still had IDP, and then we get to reset either Anchor or Shark Cannon in the end phase. There we go, GG's. Sky Striker, best deck. Nice.